Good morning. Good morning. I hope you're well. I am just connecting this and recording today's video. So just bear with me. So good morning. How are we all? Bit of a different Monday morning, eh? Bit of a strange one. I have created a bubble, as I'm sure a lot of single parents have with my parents. So little Sunny is with them today because I have a pretty busy work schedule. So let's see who is with me this morning. If you could just let me know, and if you can hear me, just give me a little thumbs up or a little heart emoji would be lovely. A little like, and let me know whereabouts you are listening from today. That would be super. You can watch this live. You can also watch it on replay. And today we're going to talk about our body is intelligent. So that is the topic of conversation for today. So grab yourselves a cuppa and sit back, relax, and enjoy the next sort of 15-20 minutes or so. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Michelle. I'm founder of the Sunshine Project. And for almost a decade now, I have been developing and delivering well-being, stress management, and personal development programs for a wide variety and range of organisations. Oh, hiya. Who have we got? I didn't even see the hellos there. Hello, Cecilia from Mahara. Lovely to have you. Oh, it's blustery in McGilligan, is it, Alice? It's actually quite mild here this morning. It's a bit dark. I do have all the lights on, but having said that, I haven't been out in it, so I'm not really sure. Good morning. Please do let me know where you are watching from this morning. That would be lovely. So yeah, we're wakening up to a very different Monday morning, aren't we? So today we are going to talk about, I've named this one, Your Body is Intelligent. And I thought I would talk today a little bit about how important our bodies are and how there's a tendency in society to value intelligence as in up here, our mind, our thoughts, more than this, the container, the vessel that all of us lives in. And I believe our bodies are full of intelligence. And anyone who's been to any of my courses or programs know that I teach an embodied approach to healing, so like a bottom-up approach rather than a top-down approach, if that makes sense. And there's lots and lots and lots of reasons for that, which I'll not go into today. But basically, our state comes before our story. So always state before story. But a lot of us would like to believe that it's story before state, and that's actually not true. I can't talk about today without talking about how we're conditioned. And I was just looking at the stats of the Sunshine Project Facebook page the other day because I was curious to know how many women follow the page in comparison to how many men. And as you know, I've been doing this work a very, very long time, so I know the stats in terms of organisations and the groups that attend my programs and courses, and they are predominantly women. I would say 95%, maybe even higher, is women. And the stats of the Sunshine Project reflect that too. So 90% of the people that follow this page, and there's almost 4,000 people at this point, are women. I'm a woman, and therefore it makes sense for me to talk to women about our bodies, because I live in a woman's body, and 90% of my followers live in women's bodies too. So whilst men are always very welcome into these conversations, this is about women's bodies and how women's bodies have an intelligence, and how we are conditioned to not trust our bodies. So we're actually conditioned to not follow our natural impulses. In fact, quite the contrary. We're told to tame down our natural impulses. We are taught various things about being young girls and about being women, and some of those things are, as girls and women, to be nice. Just give me a hands up if that resonates. To be nice, be nice, be nice. To be grateful. And whilst I am a conscious gratitude person and practice being consciously grateful, there is a thing about being a woman and being grateful for what you have and not asking for any more than what you have. So this, we're taught to not demand more than what we have, that we should be grateful for what we have, and to be good, be a good girl, be grateful, do not be demanding, do not want any more than what you have, and be nice, be really, really, really nice. And I don't know about all of you, but I just find that is exhausting, trying to live up to that narrative, is one. Two, I believe that the way that we can be conditioned can lead to lots and lots and lots of different issues for us as women. It can lead to us overthinking things. Like, should I have said that? Or maybe I wasn't nice enough there. Or it can lead to people pleasing, or as Oprah Winfrey calls it, the disease to please. And I think all women know what that feels like, because we have been taught and we have been conditioned to put other people above our own needs, our own desires, and our own wants in this world. It's nearly like everyone else goes above us and we kind of slot in wherever we can. And here's the thing about people pleasing. We're saying yes to all these people, but we're saying no to our soul. We're saying no to ourselves. And I know in my life, when I have done that, I end up feeling resentful. I end up feeling really resentful, because it's not what I really want to do. What else can it lead to? It can lead to, a fitting in, which I guess is a little bit like people pleasing. We try to fit in to our own detriment, of our own needs, desires, wants. But it also can lead to nearly like a collapse response, where we procrastinate and we put things off and we don't follow through, because there's such a huge amount of fear attached to it, that we might say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, and not fit in, and not be liked, and not be accepted. Does this make sense? I'm just going to hop on to the chat to see if there's any chat. Does this resonate? Let me know if this makes sense and if it resonates. Yeah. So learning more, knowing more and learning more up here cognitively in our mind does not necessarily know that our body knows the same amount of stuff. So you might know it up here, but you might not necessarily be living it in your body, if that makes sense. I think I spoke a while ago about a really wise older gentleman who taught me so much about the inner child, the adult and the parent relationship. He was so wise, and he taught me a lot about this connection between the mind and the body and connecting both of it. He was exceptional at this embodied approach, and I learned so much about him from him. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and hopefully this will make a little bit more sense. So just because your mind knows it doesn't mean to say your body knows it. Okay, so I'll give you some examples. So have you ever had a situation where your mind wants to do something, but your body says no? So your mind says, yes, I want to do that, but your body says no. So I'll give you an example of myself. So for example, next Monday is the start of the Halloween holidays, even though they've already started today. But next Monday, I'm particularly busy. I think I have 4 different groups on Zoom that day, which is quite a lot for a facilitator. So I've had, when I sat down and thought about my Monday live, I got a really quick no from my body. It's a no. You've too many other commitments, and you would end up feeling overwhelmed and stressed. It's a no. But my mind went to the place of, but I have made a commitment to do this every Monday morning, and about letting other people down. So this old habitual way that we are conditioned as women, again, to put other people's needs before our own. And thankfully, I was able to integrate that and know and trust my body's intelligence that it's a no. So next Monday, I won't be sharing the live videos because I have other work commitments, and I would feel overstretched. So that's what I mean by sometimes your mind wants to do something, but your body doesn't. And it's about trusting what we say, and it's also about trusting what we do. So the actions that we take. And I suppose checking in with ourselves and asking ourselves, do I really want to do this? Do I have time to do this? Do I want to take on this extra commitment? And as women, we have a tendency to say yes before we've checked in with our body and checked in to say, is this what my body actually wants? So it's nearly like consent, bodily consent. Do I want to take on these extra commitments? Do I want to say yes? And if I say yes to someone else, am I saying a no to myself and to my own needs, wants, and desires? Because there's nothing as worse as saying, yeah, I'll do it, no problem, I'll do it. And then you end up walking away and feeling resentful or annoyed or upset. So if you are the type of person that jumps in and says yes really quickly, I suggest creating some sort of space or some sort of pause so you can really absorb and integrate whatever it is you've been asked to do. So it's perfectly okay to say to somebody, that sounds like a great idea, or that sounds like a great plan. Can you give me can you give me a couple of hours till I just check my diary, or to just check in a few things to see if that's workable for me. So therefore you're creating this little bit of space and a little bit of gap. So you can really sit with it and say, is this what I want to do, or is this not what I want to do? Now, excuse me, I'm talking here about commitments, commitments to maybe work, or commitments to family, or commitments to friends, or commitments to whatever it is you contribute in your local community, for example. So just creating that wee bit of space to check in with yourself to say, do I really have the time to do this? Do I want to do it? And how does this feel in my body? Is my body giving me a strong yes, or is my body giving me a strong no? And for years, I struggled with the yes and no. And it was that very wise man that I have spoken about in great detail that really got me out of my head and into my body, and really got me to listen to my body and the sensations within my body. And that takes a little bit of practice. It does take a little bit of practice of getting out of here and getting into the body. I hope this is making sense. I also wanted to share a story from Glennon Doyle, and it's a bigger question about consent, and it's a bigger question about the mind and the body. But nonetheless, it's a really important question. And if any of you are going through anything major and transformational at the minute, which a lot of us are at the minute, this might resonate with you. I personally call it trust your gut over Google. Trust your gut over Google. So how many times have you Googled something and you know in your body what the right decision to make is, but you Google it? You Google it. And Glennon Doyle did this, and she shared it in her book Untamed. And basically what had happened was her husband had an affair, and he was very apologetic about that betrayal. And where Glennon had this dilemma was, her husband was a really good father, but yet he had created this betrayal, and she had this dilemma as in, will I stay with him because he is a good dad, and because, let's be honest, I should be grateful because, I have a husband and a family. And again, back to this conditioning, don't ask for more than what you've got. Be happy with your lot. Or did she listen to her body? And so her head was telling her to stay in the marriage, but her body was telling her to leave. Her body was, her soul, her body was telling her, no, this is not the marriage that you want to stay in. And you can read her book and read all about that. I'm probably not doing the story any justice because it's not my story, it's her story. But it's a great example of the head and the body, or the head and the heart, which a lot of us talk about as well. So ask your body for consent before you make any big major decisions. Tap in with that and see if you get a yes or if you get a no. What I have noticed about my body and being more in my body and trusting my body with decisions is that I have, how do I describe it? I have felt stronger within my body. So I feel strong in my body and resilient. And I trust the decisions that it makes, and I trust the decisions super quick, or a lot quicker than what I would have done before. But here's the thing, the more that you trust, the more you're in your body. What I have found anyway is I am less, I have less tolerance. I have way less tolerance, and if this might resonate with you. And if you've less tolerance for certain things, it's gonna really rock the boat a bit in certain respects. But I would much rather trust my body and rock the boat than turn my back on my body and do things or accept or say things that aren't in alignment with who I am. So, so I hope today's little video was of some help. So your body is just as intelligent, if not more intelligent, than up here. And it's about integrating both of them, because the state always comes before the story. So if you can figure out what's going on in the body, the state in the body, then you'll be able to see what is the narrative that I attach in my mind to what is going on in my body. Tread really gently with yourselves. The world is very chaotic at the minute, and it's really important that we look after our bodies. Listen to your body, and if your body needs a break from social media, take a break from social media. If your body needs a break from the news, take a break from the news. If your body needs a break from work, try and negotiate some time off. If you're feeling majorly triggered by friends, by family, on social media, do what you can to take a step back and honour what your body is telling you in that moment. And the same applies for my page. Anybody that's feeling triggered by anything that I say, you're more than welcome to unfollow my page. In fact, I would strongly suggest that you do unfollow my page if you're feeling triggered about anything. But yes, now is a time to be kind and gentle with our bodies. It's not a time to judge our bodies or to beat our bodies up in any shape or form. So tread gently with yourselves and with others. Take care, and I will be back on Monday, the 2nd of November, so the week after the Halloween holidays. All the best.